Hey guys, if you really like this content, please subscribe and help me grow this channel. Hey yeah, welcome to Post Mischa. Let's talk about religion. Um, what I want to talk about today is first off the fact that I am the son of a preacher, or better said, the son of a deacon. My dad was a deacon. He was working for the Roman Catholic Church, and although I don't believe or I don't have a feeling for religion, I still have an interesting view on this. And I would like to share this with you. So, as I said, my dad was working for the Roman Catholic Church. He was a deacon. What I would like to say is that he mostly did that because of, in Dutch we call it barmhartigheid. If I translate that to English, you would say mercifulness. But it was especially the work with the community that he really enjoyed. He could work, in a week he could easily work 60, 70 hours during the week, preparing for church in the weekend, but also going to sick people, going to hospitals, marrying people that die. All of that is connected, of course, with the Roman Catholic Church. But let me first start off with the story of my confirmation. Because the story of my confirmation, in the Roman Catholic Church, it works like that. If you are, I think, around 11 or 12, you will go sort of study how the Roman Catholic Church works. And this is part where they teach you the lessons of life. So there are parts of this where I would say this is good. But there are also definitely parts of religion where they have a definite influence, where they try to influence you, so that you live according of the way of the Roman Catholic Church. Also within the Ten Commandments, you have, for example, I am the Lord thy God, no other gods before me, not take the Lord's name in vain, remember Sabbath day, thou shalt not commit adultery. So although you have on one part you have things that you shouldn't do, you should not kill, you should not steal, you should not cheat on someone else with someone else's wife, or how the Ten Commandments in these times also said it, you would not steal one other's slave. Think of it. So the Ten Commandments are an interesting influence over how religion works. But with confirmation, I made a deal with my dad that I would go to those evenings. I think it was 1 or 2 years. That once a month you would meet up with people from your same age and you would study these things together. Already when I was a kid, I did not necessarily believe in God or believe in the religion, the Roman Catholic Christian way. Why? Because it was not something that I could see. And that was quite interesting because due to my dad's job, we also lived in the houses next to the churches. It was fun on one hand because as a kid I could just go into church. It was a nice playground, I would say. And so that there's definitely a fun part to that as well. But my dad, I made a deal with my dad. If I would go to all those evenings, he wanted me to do that because he saw the life lessons that I could learn there. I doubt if he, I think I would not necessarily have to go there, and he could have just told me. But on the other hand, I did that, that was the deal. And at the end of all of those nights, normally you would conform confirm yourself in church. So after all these evenings, after 1 or 2 years, you go to church and then you conform yourself to church again. But the deal was that if I would go to all those evenings, I could still decide if I wanted to do the confirmation itself, yes or no. So after all those evenings, my dad asked me, so, do you wanna conform yourself to church? And I was happily to tell him no. One thing, and I'm actually quite proud of myself by doing so, especially being so young. Normally, after the confirmation, you get gifts from family, whatever it might be, money, that it doesn't matter. I did not feel like confirming myself to something that I did not necessarily believe in for some gifts, so I did not. And this created a funny kind of living, because due to the fact that my dad was a deacon, it would also mean that we got priests at our home. And the priest would then, for years, they would ask me, why don't you go to church anymore? Why didn't you conform yourself? And my answer always to them was, well, it's not something that I can see. The things that I believe in are the people around me. If I take care of them and if I treat them well, why do I need church? And that's still something that I believe. It's not. I don't see myself making a turn ever to church, especially not in times that are not so nice like these. Other people do, and let me get one thing straight. For me, religion is a way of living. If you talk about religion, you talk about belief. And belief would say that it might be possible, but there is something there, but it's not sure. So yeah, for me, as with that mindset, I'm not necessarily against religion, because I won't say anything about any other person's way of living. What I do have problem with, though, is the fact that religion has so much influence. Look here in Europe, look even here in Germany. If you register in Germany, I come from the Netherlands, I had to register here in Berlin, so I go to the government, the Bürgeramt, and the Bürgeramt will ask you, are you religious? Yes, no. If you say yes, and you, for example, give up the Roman Catholic Church as your religion, 3% of your salary will go directly to them. So that's one part of influence. You could say, okay, maybe if you believe in that and you want to pay for that, that's all fine. But on the other hand, we have so many social conventions in where they tell you how to live. Look, for example, now here in most Western Europe, you could still marry if you are, for example, 2 guys, 2 girls, whatever. But then on the other hand, there was such a long time that was not a possibility. So for me, state and religion should be separated, and there should be no such thing as having schools based on religion. Why? Well, because I think if you're young, you're so much influenced by everything that goes on around you. And yes, there are parts within religion as a community, as taking care of each other and that kind of stuff that I don't have trouble with. I've seen that from my dad, and I actually think that's a very nice thing. However, certain things that are judging other people for another way of living, which I would say that Christian people they have a sense of that it's very common to think like, well, oh, this person is a little bit different than me, so there is a mindset of judging in there. Even if you would say that certain things are not allowed, it means that you judge other people for doing something else that you are used to or that you are known to. And yeah, that's something that I think that should definitely change. Religion should not have such an influence over us. And maybe you would say like, oh, but that's currently not happening anymore. Well, look in your own laws. Think of making things illegal or even not allowing certain things. Yeah, this is still an influence that we shouldn't have. It derails discussions, it derails understanding each other, or even giving each other the possibility of willing to understand each other. Look, for example, as how we as a Western society look to the Middle East. There, our news coverage, go look at headlines from certain articles. There is so much judgment in there. Why? Well, it's something that our older generations got used to, but it's time to break that cycle. So once more, I would basically end this video by saying I hope that's gonna change. I don't necessarily think that religion should have such an influence over society. Yes, religion can be there if people want to believe in the Christian way of living. That's fine with me, but it should not mean that we exclude other people from our society. So yeah, those are basically my son of a preacher story, but also my view on religion. Yeah, hope you liked the video. Subscribe if you like it, and then I hope to see you next time.